today's chemistry session, lesson number 3, metals and non-metals. It's a very interesting lesson, important and a simple topic. As we move ahead, the introduction, that is, first it is matter. How can you define as matter? Anything that occupies space and has mass, that is matter. So this matter is divided into 3 sections. First it is element, next compound, third mixtures. Now move out this element. So how can you define this element? Element is the purest form of any substances or a same kind of atom. So here there are 118 elements are there, out of which 92 elements are natural. Out of 92, 70 are metals and approximate 22 are non-metals. Now, how do we know that particular element is a metal or a non-metal? Again, this element is divided into 3, that is classified into 3, that is metal, non-metal and metalloids. And examples of metal: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, silver, gold, etc. And in the case of non-metals, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, these are all gases, sulfur, phosphorus, carbon, iodine, etc. These are non-metals. And now we are going to study physical properties of metal. To begin with the physical state, usually all metals are, these all metals we can see in the solid form, all metals we can see in the solid form. Non-metals usually we can see solid form and gaseous form. When we talk about the gaseous states of non-metals, that are hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, nitrogen gas, etc. And in the solid state, that is sulfur, phosphorus, carbon, etc., iodine, etc. These are all in the solid form. Exceptional cases is there, that is bromine. This bromine is present in liquid form, that is one in liquid form, that is bromine. As we move ahead, the characteristics of metals or physical properties of metals. The first physical property, metals are hard. Generally, all metals are hard. Exceptional cases are there, sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are soft metals, so we can cut it with a knife. And the second property, metals are malleable. Malleable means we can make it into a thin sheet, that is malleability. All the metals can be beaten into a thin sheets with a hammer, that is malleability. Which metal shows most malleable property? That is silver and gold, gold AU. And the next goes to aluminum and next copper, etc. like this goes. So mainly silver and gold shows malleability. Third one, it is ductile. Ductile means we can make it into thin wire. So metals can be stretched into a thin wires, but all the metals are not equally ductile. Some of the metals are more ductile than others. That is gold and silver. Gold and silver, they shows more ductility than others. Next goes to same as copper, aluminum, copper, etc. And fourth property, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. All the metals are good conductors of heat. Which is the best conductor of heat? Silver is the best conductor of heat. And next, lead. Lead is the poorest conductor of heat. Silver is the best conductor of heat. Lead is the purest conductor of heat, the best and purest. And another case is mercury. Mercury is the poor conductor of electricity. It is the poor conductor of electricity. First is silver. Silver is a good conductor, and next it goes to, and in the case of electricity, silver is the best conductor of electricity, and next goes to copper, silver, next goes to copper, and next it is iron, etc. like this. This is the conductivity series. And the fifth one, metals are lustrous. What is the meaning of lustrous? Shiny appearances. They can be polished also. And the sixth one, metals are solid at room temperature. Metals are solid at room temperature. So all metals are solid. Exception is there. Mercury. Mercury we can see in the liquid form at room temperature. Mercury at we can see in the liquid form at room temperature. And another cases, and the seventh property, metals are strong. All metals are strong. That we know that all metals are strong. And the eighth property, metals are sonorous. What is the meaning of sonorous? They produce sound. Metals produce sound when hit with any object. Otherwise, metals produce a ringing sound also. And the last property, melting point and boiling point of metals are generally high. Melting point and boiling point of metals are generally high. Here example, it is silver, copper, etc. This melting point is high only, and exceptional is there, that is gallium and cesium. Here also exceptional cases, gallium and cesium. The material which possess generally these all properties, that we call it as metals. Next, physical properties of non-metals. It is the just opposite of the property of the metals only. The first one, non-metals are soft, weak and brittle. Exceptional case, I already explained. Exceptional case, bromine. Bromine is present in liquid form. We already know that. I already explained bromine is present in liquid form. Other non-metals are soft, weak and brittle. And the second, and one more exceptional cases is there. And weak means all non-metals are weak, only exceptional, that is diamond. This diamond is the allotropic form of carbon. That is later we will study. Diamond is the hardest substances, but it is the allotropic form of carbon. Second one, they are neither malleable nor ductile. Non-metals never shows the malleability and the ductility property. Third one, they are generally bad conductor of heat and electricity. They are generally bad conductor of heat and electricity. And the fourth one, they do not possess lustrous property. They do not possess lustrous. And the fifth one, and one more in here also exception case is there, iodine. Iodine is a non-metal which has a metallic luster. Iodine is a non-metal which has a metallic luster. And the last, the fifth property, they are non-sonorous. They are non-sonorous. And the sixth one, they have a low melting point and boiling point. Last one, they may be solid, liquid or gases. These are the physical properties of non-metals. Physical properties we completed. Let's talk about the chemical properties of metals. The first chemical properties. Metal react with oxygen. We get oxygen means the product, it is metal oxide. Metal react with oxygen gives metal oxide. Before studying the chemical properties, we must know about the reactivity series. Very important, you have to know about this reactivity series. That the series is there. So first one, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, and one neutral, it is there, hydrogen. Hydrogen shows plus ionic state and minus ionic state. Next goes to copper, mercury, silver, gold. So the reactivity series moves from top to bottom like this. So like this they are moving. Look at that. Potassium and sodium, they are highly reactive metal. They are highly reactive, and calcium to lead, it is the middle reactive, and silver and gold, it is very low reactive. The reactivity series move like this. You have to learn about this one: potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, copper, mercury, silver, gold. It is very easy to remember. One song is there. Potassium, it is given as Katrina ne car, Ca means car, this mange, Al means alto, zinc means zen, Ferrari, and Pb means fir, mercury, that is hydrogen, leave it, and chrome, milli, that is silver, OD. You can make it like this. Katrina ne car mange, alto zen Ferrari, fir bhi क्यों मिले सिल्वर ओडी. This is the song. You can, otherwise you can make it another song also, as per your wish. You can, this reactivity series you have to remember. Then we have to move this, how the metals react. First you have to check it that with a highly reactive metal. Now we have to look at that middle reactive metal, then low reactive. What are the changes occurs in the oxygen cases. First you take the highly reactive metal, that you take potassium. Potassium react with oxygen, gives potassium oxide, K2O. How K2O come? Potassium is the +1 ionic state, oxygen is -2, cross multiply K2O. Same as in the case of sodium, take highly reactive sodium. Sodium react with oxygen, gives sodium oxide, Na2O. Here also sodium is +1 ionic state, oxygen is -2 ionic state, Na2O. Now you have to balance the equation. Look at that here. Potassium, it is 2 here, and in the reactant side only 1. Oxygen reactant side 2, but it is 1. So you have to put it 2 over there. The potassium goes to 4. Here only 1, put 4 over here, and oxygen 2, oxygen 2. Same as sodium also here. 4 Na plus O2 gives 2 Na2O. Balanced equation. These highly reactive metals react with oxygen. Next we have to take it as middle reactivity metals. Middle reactivity metals I am going to taking as in the case of this aluminium. Aluminium react with oxygen, gives aluminium oxide. How it goes? Al2O3. Aluminium is +3 ionic state, oxygen is -2. Cross multiply Al2O3. So aluminium. Now we have to take it as aluminium over zinc. Zinc react with oxygen, gives zinc oxide, ZnO, because zinc is +2 and -2. Zinc is ZnO. And now you take it as iron. Iron, these three we taken. Iron react with oxygen, gives iron oxide or ferric oxide. In the case of iron, there are 2 ionic state is there, Fe +2 and Fe +3. Mostly this metal high reactive ionic state, that is it is ferrous and ferric. We are always using ferric oxide. Otherwise normal we can take iron oxide. Next, low reactivity. In the case of low reactivity, you have to take it, this one middle reactivity, this high reactivity. Low reactivity, take it as copper. Copper react with oxygen, gives CuO. Here copper also 2 ionic states, Cu +1 and Cu +2, that is cuprous and cupric. I already took cupric only, we have react with oxygen. So cuprous also react, but cupric we have taken CuO, +2 and -2 CuO. This low reactive series. This now, these, look at this all metals react with oxygen, gives metal oxide, that is potassium oxide, sodium oxide, aluminium oxide, zinc oxide, iron oxide, copper oxide. These metallic oxides are basic in nature. Metallic oxides are basic in nature. Let us perform the activity. Collect iron oxide or ferric oxide. In a china dish or a watch glass, collect some iron oxide here and dissolve a very little amount of water, very little amount, and shake it well, otherwise you stir it well. Now you have to bring blue litmus paper and red litmus paper. First you dip it the blue litmus paper, observe it, any changes occurs? No, there is no changes. Now you bring it the red litmus paper, we can observe that red litmus changes to blue. The red litmus changes to blue means what? It is a basic in nature. It is base. So that means all metal oxides are basic in nature.